Welcome back to M Hood Discovered, everybody. There is something that I stare at every time I come into the backyard where my shop is, and there's a rumor about it. There's an opinion about it. See that right there? Now let's cut in on it. Now we can't go down there on the ground because that's private property. Boomer over there, he's obliged to do whatever. He can go down there, but I'm not going to go down there. I've got a better way to go down there. So that is the first glimpse of the island that we're talking about, that people around here believe is an Indian mound. So it's possible. Well, let's go take a look at it and get a more informed opinion about it as we get close up to it. So we are in the heartland of the Caddo ancestral lands, right? And that is Lake Holbrook. And we do have a lot of archaeological evidence of settlement of the Caddo Indians in this area, right around Mineola, Texas, which we're just outside of. We're out in the county. We're not in the city limits. But there's no officially recorded Indian mound out there in Lake Holbrook, whether sticking out of it or sticking underneath the surface of its water. But there could be. It's just not recorded. But that's just right there in plain sight. So let's go out there and get a closer look. I'm not using that today. Nice. So there it is, dead ahead, right? I don't have a lot of light left. And I'm fishing, so but we are going to just paddle straight to it. This is probably not the first time I'm going to check this out. Some people think it is a mound, other people don't. I'm cutting right through the wind too, so, but it's not bad. It's a gentle breeze, but it is hitting us. All right, we're right on it. Where these trees are, this is the island, and right here dead in front of us is the channel of water that goes behind it, and there's fish moving. I think a carp just moved out in front of us, and right there, sometimes shoe picker back here from what I hear. I've been back here before in a kayak a few years back. I'm not going to be able to go much further than this. Now, someone actually owns this island right here. So technically it's private property. I'm not too worried about it because I know who owns it, but they don't know me, but I know them, and they rarely come out their house, but we're not getting on it. There's something back here. So this is I guess technically you call it an island, but this going through here is very, very shallow. The back of it, and this island doesn't appear to be perfectly round or a particular shape at all. It's just kind of random, but it doesn't, that doesn't really discount it. The Caddo didn't always build their mounds perfectly perfectly circular. We built them in different sizes, in different shapes, just like other earthen cultures in North America. We have earthen cultures that built pyramids. I've been to some, Last time I was in Missouri, I went across the river, across the Mississippi to Illinois. And in southern Illinois, we have these earthen pyramids that are like 2 to 3 stories tall. So one of the things we would look for when it comes to a Caddo mound, I don't see in particular, but if it is, it's this overgrowth is hiding it. The top of the mound would be perfectly level, and that doesn't even look like it was at one point, but can't fully discount it yet. I'd have to get over there and see. Get over there. Oh, I'm in the weeds. Having trouble here. Wind. I'd have to get over there with a trowel and see if it's layered. Top of my head, my initial opinion, that's not an Indian mound. But there could be artifacts there nonetheless, right? I am totally running out of light. I think it's just natural, formed by runoff running around it, because there's a spring that comes in right up this way, comes into the lake, and we're real close to the creek channel that would come through back here. So I think it's natural. But what do you think? It's not very, it doesn't appear to be very tall, and their mounds can be small, but that's just barely coming up out of the lake. So if the lake was gone, what would it look like? I think if the lake was gone, it would look natural. So I'm going to entertain the idea that it is an Indian mound, right? I wish I could get on it. I don't want to deal with the person who owns it, though. So if it is an Indian mound, what would its purpose be? Possibly observation. Now, the Caddo Indians have been known to build their mounds on floodplains, like places where it's going to flood. Normally, you would think, under the lines of practicality, that you wouldn't build something there, but maybe you're going to build an observation platform, you know, because they grew food in that same floodplain. Now we're coming behind the island a little better than when I tried the other side. Got a little better depth back here. It is rather mounded up as I come to the back. It's more so than in the front. Ooh, there's fish back here too, but I think they're carp. This is shallow. This is only 2 feet deep back here. There's an old dock here too. Yep, there's a lot of carp back here and other things. All right, I'm going to turn around. You know, it's still possible that it could be a camp, but very well could be natural. It's very interesting indeed. So there are no officially that fish. There are no officially recorded mounds in this immediate area, but there are plenty in East Texas, right? That doesn't mean they're not here, but they just haven't been recorded. And you got to remember, the Caddo, they were here for over 1,000 years in this area, right? And they built a lot of mounds, and a lot of those mounds have been lost to farming, you know, agriculture, to erosion, and they might just be buried in the woods, hidden by overgrowth, and you can't tell them from natural, from man-made to natural, right? But there are no officially recorded ones here. There's chatter that's been going on over the years that there are. There's also chatter that there's like a ice house under the lake somewhere, or the foundations or the remains of an old ice house. So it's possible that something slipped by, and it's also possible that there's something that locals have known about but hasn't been officially inspected, right? Because that is private property. But it doesn't jump out to me as man-made. But if it's really, really old, overgrowth and erosion could hide the fact that it's man-made. And it's difficult. There's difficulties because it's private property and surrounded by a lake, and I can't really get that close to it. And I'm losing light. But I wanted to come look at it. And yeah, you're right. There's all kinds of things out here that are extremely old, just hidden away. It's really cool. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being members of the channel. And yeah, you're right. I will see y'all next time.